So, Nigel, first of all, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. So, you're deeply involved in promoting diversity and youth engagement in your creative industry. Can you tell us more about the origin of your passion for these causes and the journey that led you to co-found Mayamada?
Yeah, sure. That's a good question. I mean, so my background is I used to be a software engineer, and when I was really young, I used to draw a lot, but I stopped, and I saw a lot of misunderstanding of what creativity is and how it affects different people, like who can be creative, what it means to be creative. So when we started our brand, started making comics, started working a lot with young people who are very into video games, by seeing that video games is not very diverse in terms of who's making video games. So last year we started a campaign to challenge some of the stereotypes in the video games industry, so that young people from diverse backgrounds can understand more that they can work in video games, they can make video games, they can be part of that. So hopefully making things a bit more inclusive and diverse over the long term.
Perfect. Which pushes on to the next question. You're involved in a wide range of projects, from gamepad to creative workshops with young people. Can you share a particularly inspiring or memorable experience when you saw the impact of your work on the lives of others?
Oh, yeah. Yes, there are a few. There's actually quite a lot. I'm trying to think. So we do like comic story workshops, and we do game design workshops. So there was a time we had a comic story workshop, so a 10-week program of sessions. And I remember this young girl. She came to the first session, and she wouldn't talk. Literally wouldn't talk. She actually wrote down her name. She wouldn't even say her name. But I had some books with me, some of my books, some of our comics and manga. And she saw one of the manga books. I think it was Hunter x Hunter. And when she saw it, she grabbed it immediately and she started reading it. So I was like, okay, so she's somewhat interested in this. So she kept coming to the sessions. She kept coming. And then we did it again the next year. She came back, and then she must have grown, because she wouldn't stop talking. all of a sudden, she wouldn't stop. And then in between that, I sent her. So I sent her one of our comics and some art stuff as well. And then she sent me an email saying thank you, and so wrote a whole thing in the email. So I was like, okay, cool. So you must have been listening at some point. So that was really cool.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Nigel. It's been a pleasure. Thank you a lot.